Cast, our digital version of headlines in a short, brief newscast. Let's start off in Huntsville this afternoon, where the Department of Defense, an employee there, is charged with removing classified material, and she is expected to be in court in just a few minutes. Federal investigators say that Eva Chishak removed top employee information, secret information, as she was working at the Missile Defense Agency. Prosecutors believe that she removed that material sometime starting in February all the way till June. Huntsville, we were at her home last week when the FBI raided her home in South Huntsville. We will have more on this in just a few minutes. Also this afternoon, a Limestone County inmate has been indicted for stabbing another inmate. Glenn Stackhouse was already in prison for burglary and assault. He is now facing another charge after new court documents show he allegedly attacked Andrew Amison with a shank. Unclear right now when the stabbing took place. Unofficial prison records show that Stackhouse is now in the Bullock County Correctional Facility. Also this afternoon, employees at the Decatur City Schools will make more money starting this upcoming school year.
All about the heat and humidity for today, but now we mix in a little thunderstorm activity in the afternoon, and there's only one, but it's a player near Albertville right now. It is a severe thunderstorm warning for mainly gusty winds up to 60 miles an hour. Take a look at the radar and you can see where that storm is as it continues to move through southern Marshall County, moving towards US 431 right now. There was a lot more lightning with it about 10 minutes ago, which means it's already probably weakening at this point, but certainly producing some very heavy rainfall, and that could cause some ponding on the road, especially on US 431 if you're driving through Albertville right now. It extends back north and east up towards Fort Payne and affecting southern portions of DeKalb County. It's the only storm we have tracking right now. Other than that, it's all about the heat. How about 109? Yeah, that's what it feels like in Florence right now. Feels like 108 in Decatur. We said that today was going to be the hottest and most humid day. And there you go. Temperatures way up there. A few isolated storms through the evening, but it's all about the heat. And even though the temperatures are going to come down a little bit Thursday and Friday, we still have heat advisories for the end of the week. And I'll have much more on that part of your forecast coming right up.
Thank you, Jeff. Invasive worms popping up across North Alabama, and they can carry a toxic punch. What you need to know to avoid those worms when we come back. The amount of rain we're seeing in the valley helping wash the pollen out, certainly, but a new issue is cropping up in the form of an invasive species of worms. Hammerhead worms. Yep, the head looks just like that shark. Well, they are eating earthworms, posing a threat because earthworms keep the soil healthy. These worms also produce a neurotoxin that is also found in pufferfish. Carrie Deans, a professor at the University of Alabama, Huntsville, says although those worms will not pose much of a threat to you, it is still a good idea to avoid touching them with your bare hands.
It's not as dangerous as probably it sounds. It's found in the mucus that kind of surrounds these worms, and it can irritate your skin if you were to like pick one of these worms up. But as long as you wash your hands, it shouldn't be a problem. Now, I think a lot of people are more concerned with maybe pets eating the worms because that is a little bit more dangerous.
Deans recommends to not cut the worms since they are able to regenerate. So if you cut a piece off of the worm, that piece can actually become a new worm. If you see one, you should use salt and vinegar to kill it.
Now, your 48 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist Jeff Denoyer.
I haven't seen one of those in my yard, but you know what I have at my house right now is these disgusting slugs. They're all over the place. They're like on my front steps. They're on the side of my house. And I had to go out there and like scrape them off. It's disgusting. All right, rainfall happening right here from Fort Payne to Albertville. This was a severe thunderstorm warning for a hot second, and then they've pulled the plug on the warning already. There's some gusty winds with it, maybe like 40 miles an hour, but something cool on the satellite and radar. Here's the storm. Look at all the outflow clouds. Like they're just pushing across Marshall County outside of that one cell. Anyway, that's one little thing I'm watching on the radar, but I think the bigger picture certainly is the heat and humidity. Many of you talking about how this certainly has played out to be the hottest and most humid day for the week. We feel like temperatures as high as 109 degrees today, and certainly we have hit the top of the mountain when it comes to heat and humidity for the week. It's going to go down as we go into Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend. But it's only going to go down because there's going to be more clouds and eventually some more rainfall, especially for the weekend. But the National Weather Service has extended the heat advisory into Thursday and Friday because it's still going to have real field temperatures that are over 100 degrees. Maybe not 109 like today, but still a big impact as you're going to be out and about Thursday and Friday. So the heat advisory has covered all of the counties pretty much since Tuesday, and that will continue right into the end of the week. I do not see it being added for the weekend just because we do have the potential for more clouds and rainfall. That should keep the temperatures down just enough to keep us out of that criteria for Saturday and Sunday. But the one thing that's going to change, though, is the pattern becomes more active in terms of the amount of thunderstorm activity. Very isolated today, and then a little bit higher chance Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The highest chance during the day for storms will be during the afternoon, and anytime you have a storm, it's heavy rain and gusty winds. The storms themselves will continue into early next week. This will be a very unsettled pattern right up until July 4th, where at any given time you have one of those storms, you can expect damaging winds and heavy rainfall.
That'll do it for our Fastcast today. We'll be back here online in just a few minutes with Before the 4. And don't forget to join us for our 4 o'clock newscast on TV, WAFF 48. Breaking news coming up, of course, at 5, 6, and 10. We definitely have you covered. I'm Liz Hurley. Have a great afternoon.